Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Pink Sky Tarot. For those of you that subscribed so far, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button and come join us. Yesterday's video was what the Divine Masculine wants his Divine Feminine to know. And the big thing that's been coming up in all of my videos is that there has been action around a choice that he's been making. And a lot of the times the masculines get stuck in this decision that they have to make when they meet their Divine Feminine, because usually they're in some sort of relationship or karmic situation, or there's always some sort of hurdle that they have to overcome. And so today we're going to talk about why they are afraid of making this decision. What's holding them back? Why are they so scared to move forward with these choices to be with the Divine Feminine? Because to us, the Divine Feminine, it seems obvious, right? So let's get into it. Why is the Divine Masculine so scared to make these decisions? What is the Divine Masculine so scared of? The Transition Death card right here. What is the Divine Masculine so scared of? Five of Pentacles, which can be making changes in your physical world. What is the Divine Masculine so scared of? One more, please, for what the Divine Masculine is so scared of. Ace of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so what I'm kind of getting, I'll get some clarifiers, but they're afraid of this transition that they have to go through, because it's not just a physical 3D one. They have to go through like a spiritual transformation in order to be with the Divine Feminine. And they know this, even if they don't have the vocabulary for it, if they don't understand the twin flame concept or whatever, they know that they're going to have to make some deep-seated changes to move forward with the Divine Feminine. That doesn't mean just getting divorced or moving. That's like spiritual development, and that scares them. Dark Night of the Soul is not a fun time for those of you that have been through it, and they know that it's going to take them to deep places. And then of course they have this Five of Pentacles, which can be making changes in the physical world. It can also mean being lonely or being spiritually depleted. So again, they're going to have to like kind of step into the spiritual side of themselves, which a lot of them probably aren't familiar with. They're not usually as spiritual as the Divine Feminine. Some of them are, but that's not, it's a harder process for them. So they are afraid of making those changes, because they can't just, they're telling their family, they're probably moving. It's just like a big upheaval. Ace of Swords in reverse. They're afraid that they're making the decision without clarity. The emotions that we feel in a twin flame connection are very intense, and the Divine Masculines like to be logical in their choices and their decisions and how they go about things. And they're afraid that they're going to make this decision without clarity. And so they get scared, and that's why they run. Let's get a clarifier here on this Death card. Why is the Death card here? Okay, I think this one wants to come out. There we go. Yeah, the Three of Coins. This is working together. A lot of people will say it's the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and Source coming together to work together, which makes sense with this Death card, because even though they're going to have to go through the transition on their own, they are going to have to tap into their spiritual side. They are going to have to connect with their Divine Feminine, even if just on the 5D. They just really have to go deep and be willing to work, spiritually within themselves in order to be able to work with the Divine Feminine. And it's just a very difficult process. All right, why is the Five of Coins here? we have the Emperor in the reverse. They are afraid of getting into that take charge Emperor energy. Emperor in reverse can also be like being stubborn. We know a lot of them are stubborn and they kind of get set in their ways. So they have to come out of that in order to make these changes in the physical world. They really have to step into their power. Why is the Ace of Swords in the reverse? Why is the Ace of Swords in the reverse? And then we have the Knight of Cups. It actually came out in the reverse. Again, they're afraid to feel those feelings, to make offers of love without being clear about it. The twin flame connection is just like so intense that it gets overwhelming, and they want to be clear about it, and they don't want to just be like coming in with all this love and then it not work out how they think it's going to work out or something like that. You know, they want to do it methodically. All right, what are the divine masculines so scared of when it comes to moving forward in the twin flame connection? Why are they so scared? What are the divine masculines so scared of? Judgment Day. Facing that truth. Living in that truth. Moving towards their truth. And they're also afraid, this is in the reverse, that maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not real. Maybe I'm just kind of making all this up in my head. What are the divine masculines so scared of? They do not want to tell us. The cards just do not want to come out today. What are the divine masculines so scared of? Yeah. Being overwhelmed. They have all these cups in front of them all of a sudden, and there's like all these feelings, and they have to make decisions and choices, and they just don't know what to do. It's very overwhelming, and so they run, they retreat, and they pull back. What is the divine masculine so scared of? One more, please. We have two there. We have the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of cups coming out here. So the Eight of Cups actually is in the reverse. So normally when it's in the reverse, that means trying again. So if it's like attempting to try a relationship again. But what I'm getting is they're scared of the walking away. So they keep trying again with their karmic or with whatever is blocking the union on their side. They just are like trying it again and again because they want it to work, because that's just the easier thing to do. But then they're also like scared of walking away. And like we have the Knight of Cups again, but this time it's in the upright. And they're afraid of feeling those feelings. They're afraid of communicating their feelings, because what if nothing comes of it? You know? Let's get why is the Knight of Cups here? Yeah, Five of Cups in the reverse. Five of Cups is about regret and guilt. With it being in the reverse, I think they're afraid of either doing something that they're going to regret, or afraid that the connection isn't real and they've made all these changes in their life, and then the connection with the divine feminine doesn't ever happen. Why is the Eight of Cups here in the reverse? Why is the Eight of Cups in the reverse? The Moon in the reverse. So the Moon is the divine feminine, represents the divine feminine energy. Usually it has to do with intuition and fears. With it being in the reverse, it's like again, they're wondering if there's an illusion around this divine feminine. Is this really her? Is she really there? And they're afraid of blowing up their whole world and then it not being real. But that's why they have to choose to resolve their situations for themselves and for their own good, and not in order to be with their divine feminine. I know we want them to say, I'm getting divorced so I can be with you. I'm moving to where you live so I can be with you. I'm doing this or that so I can be with you. They need to do it for themselves, because that way they're not relying. It's kind of, if they do it the other way, it's like a codependent reason for leaving or changing their circumstances. And you want them to do it for their own benefit, for their own soul growth, for their own transformation. But yeah, the whole thing is just overwhelming to them. They have that fear of like rejection, or because it's so intense, how can something this intense, be real or everlasting or whatever. So it's just easier for them to retreat from that. Okay. Why is the divine masculine so scared to move forward with the divine feminine? So we have three coming out. We have the King of Wands, the Fool in the reverse, again, not wanting to take that leap of faith. And then again, the Moon in reverse coming up twice. All right, let me get clarifiers for those. That's why I like using multiple decks, because it can really emphasize a message that's trying to come through. So the King of Wands, he knows what he wants, he has a plan, and he's going to go after it. So when it comes to fears, it's like he's afraid of putting that plan in action. The divine masculines know what they want. They know they want their divine feminine. They know they want to go after them, but it's like, do I really want to put that plan in action? They're scared to take that leap of faith, This guy's sitting here, he's looking out. But they have the sun behind them. They've got their little dog come along with them on the journey. There's always people to help them. But it's in the reverse, because they're so worried about taking that leap. What's going to happen? And of course, the Moon in reverse again. Is she just an illusion? Why is the King of Wands here? Yeah. Eight of Wands. That's the intense energy that I was talking about. They feel so much intensity from their divine feminine. They don't know what to do with it. It's just like they're being hit with all these feelings that they probably never felt before. They're suddenly being faced with these decisions that they thought they would never have to make, and they're going to have to go through, like, they're feeling these spiritual things that they probably never felt before, which is going to have them go through that transition, and it's just a very intense process. Why is the Fool in the reverse? Why is the Fool in the reverse? Two of Wands. Again, having to make that decision. Not only make the decision, but follow through on it. This Two of Wands has come up in every single reading I've done for the Divine Masculine since I started my channel. And they're really focused on making these decisions and sticking to it. But if you see it, he's holding on to this wand. He's already made his decision. He's got to follow through on it now. He's already looking this way. This wand's behind him. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going this way. And the Fool, once he jumps off that cliff, you can't unjump. You're gone. You're already jumping off. And they're scared to jump, because they know once they make that decision, they have to follow through on it. Once you announce, I'm selling my house and moving, you have to do it. Once you tell your boss you're quitting your job because you want a better one, they have to do it. Once they say they're getting divorced, they have, they have to do it. Why is the moon in the reverse? Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords in reverse with the Queen of Wands. What I'm feeling is that they feel very intimidated by the feminine, because usually by the time they get to the point of making the decision, she's sitting pretty good in her power. But even if she's not, they still see her as like this very, incredible woman that they've never, or man, remember these are just energies that they've never encountered before. And then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Which Queen of Swords in reverse for me is like cutting down these barriers and these walls. So maybe if she put some walls up around him because he wasn't coming forward and taking care of this choice, he might be a little worried that she's not going to let these walls down. But she will, right? All right. So that's, all right, I'm going to get one more row. What is the Divine Masculine so scared of when it comes to moving forward with the Divine Feminine? Okay, that's way too many cards, but I am going to show you. This came out on the bottom. Oh, it's the Three of Cups. That's celebration. I thought it was the Two of Cups. Which, why would they be scared of the celebration? Again, maybe it's not real. Maybe it's an illusion. All right. Why is the masculine so scared when it comes to moving forward with the feminine? So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse. One more, please, for why the masculines are so afraid of moving things forward with the feminine. Oh, okay. I was not going to take all of this, but look, we have the Devil right there. I'm just going to leave it. We also have the Empress, oh my goodness, and the Lovers with the Two of Cups in reverse. So this is like saying, look, there she is. She is my Empress. Do I really deserve all of that? And look at this connection we feel. But is it real, this Two of Cups in reverse? It's like they have so many doubts around the connection, just like we as the feminines do. I'm going to leave that Devil there because fears, egos, sometimes addictions, all these things can like get in the way, and that's what they have to conquer. It's really not about the action of resolving their issue. It's like the mental aspect of deciding, okay, I'm gonna do it, and doing it. Okay, so why is the Nine of Wands here in the reverse? I heard let their guard down. They really have to let their guard down to move forward in these situations, right? You have to be vulnerable with your Divine Feminine. You have to be willing to make these big changes. Why is the Nine of Wands in reverse? Yeah, I just said let your guard down, and we have Seven of Wands. That's all about being guarded. They don't want this love coming in. They don't want this intensity. They don't want to have to make these decisions. So they're very guarded. Why is the Ace of Wands in the reverse? Ace of Swords. They're wanting clarity. Is this just a passionate pursuit that I'm trying to go after, and it's just all heat and nothing more? I want to be clear on what I'm doing. And they're afraid that they're going to make this decision without being clear. Why is the Devil here? Temperance. That's pretty perfect to go with the Devil. They need to come into balance, into alchemy. They need to be at peace. They need to have patience with themselves and with the process as well. And we, the feminines, need to be patient with them, which is so hard. Trust me, I know. All right. I'm going to give some advice for the feminines, because this is really like the most difficult part, is just kind of waiting for them to do what they need to do. And if you go through my videos, I did one the other day that's called How Can the Feminine Help Bring in Union? And there's lots of really good information about things you can do on your end to help move things forward with the connection, because you can't force your divine masculine to make a choice or to follow through on something, and you don't want them to. You want them to do it of their own free will and to do it for themselves. So if you're resonating with this video, I would definitely go watch the how the divine feminine can bring in union. I think that's going to help you a lot, especially if you're towards the beginning of your journey. All right, so it's some advice for the divine feminine on how she can help the masculine. Magician in the reverse. So what I'm feeling is like, don't try to force him to manifest it, which is what I was just saying. He's got to manifest his end by himself. What is some advice for the divine feminine to help the divine masculine? All right. 3 of Cups. I feel like this is saying, cheer him on. Every time he takes a step forward, if he's telling you about it, cheer him on. Tell him he's doing a good job. And then we have the Hangman in the reverse. I feel like that's saying, like, don't put too much pressure on them, or they're going to get kind of stuck, and they're not going to be actually, like, the Hangman is, sometimes it can be stuck energy, but it's also about a spiritual enlightenment, which is that death card transformation that I was talking about. But if you're putting too much pressure on them, they're going to get stuck. So just kind of let them do their thing. And if that means you don't communicate with them for a while, then that's fine too. Let me get a clarifier on this Hangman. Why is the Hangman in the reverse? You can also tell them they're doing a good job energetically. You don't have to be talking to them directly. You can tell them in the 5D. Why is the Hangman in the reverse? Page of Swords in the reverse. I feel like it's saying don't be up in their business. Page of Swords is about spying. You could be looking at their social media a lot. You might be asking mutual friends or family members or whatever, anyone around them that you have mutually, what's going on with them. You don't need to be up in their business. If they're contacting you and they're telling you things, that's fine, but sometimes it's good to let them kind of go and do what they need to do. Or if you need to cut off communication completely for a while, that's okay. But if you're constantly, in their business, they're not going to be able to do what they need to do. I feel like pulling a mermaid card for you. Advice for the divine feminines on this part of the journey. We got 2. Let's see. Acceptance. Accept this is part of the process. Okay? It's probably the hardest part of the process, like waiting for them to figure out what they're going to do. If you're meant to be together, the divine will bring you together. So just kind of accept that this is part of the process that you have to go through. I don't know why I'm looking at these orange fish she has around her. Might mean something to somebody. And gentleness. Be gentle with your divine masculine. I know it's hard sometimes to not blow up at them and be like, can you just do what you got to do already, please? But be gentle with them. When they come in with this celebration, maybe they've only taken 1 step instead of 4 steps. And you're just angry at them that they aren't fast enough. Be gentle, okay? All right, guys. I'm going to leave the reading here, and I hope that was helpful. Please check out some of the other videos that I have posted recently. And I'm also on Instagram. I do daily guidance over there. It's more general guidance that I don't do over here. And I will see you guys later. Bye.